first to the stage, could I get Damon Frost and Steen Krona? Give a round of applause for these guys. So these gentlemen here have been putting in work for years. Steen, of course, you all know is from here. Damon coming from Berkeley and moving out to Sweden in the 80s. And inspiring a lot of folks out here in Europe, as well as being sort of the start to my family tree of dance and my lineage and some of what we do in urban artistry. So Damon and Steen, what year did you guys meet?
We met 85.
1985. 85. And if I remember some of the story correctly, is there was a battle and an exchange, and then you guys became kind of inseparable afterwards, but also Damon became one of your main inspirations.
For sure. I've been dancing since 82, right? And when I met Damon, I thought I was excellent. And I danced for about 3 years, I think, at this time. And Damon's been dancing since 76, yes, something like this. Yeah. And what he could do, I couldn't even imagine. So of course, yeah, I just stayed as close as possible I could to Damon, and we traveled together, London and New York, and I moved to Stockholm when Damon was living there, so I could learn some more from him.
He is a rapper too.
So there's a few people that aren't here today that I just wanted to mention. So Damon inspired not only Steen, but another gentleman named Thomas Herod from Copenhagen. Give a round of applause for Thomas, he's not here.
Yes, Thomas.
And other members of Steen's crew, Out of Control, Dave, Anthony, Warren, Kenneth, Henrik, thank you. So these guys are all connected in this family tree, even though they're not here today. But I just wanted to start with these guys and then branch into how it connects to some of the others. So Junius Brickhouse was stationed in the army in the 90s in Heidelberg, Germany. And he met Steen's partner, Thomas, there. And Thomas he's known to be the guy that brought popping to Germany. At a time where not a lot of people were really technically proficient yet. He had some skill sets, he had been inspired by Damon, and he was bringing that style there. And Junius started to learn from Thomas the popping and the locking style that Damon and Anthony had brought this way. And Junius, when he went back to Virginia Beach and Washington, D.C., where he ended up in 2005, started our group called Urban Artistry. So can I get all my Urban Artistry guys up here? Give a round of applause for Urban Artistry. Yes, sir. Where's Monster Pop at? You're Urban Artistry too. So just really quickly, Junius started to mentor Rashad in 2005. They started the Assassins Warriors of Light DC chapter, and they started to branch out from there. They also started Urban Artistry at this time. Rashad and I met in 2005 or 6, 2005. And Rashad, given the inspiration that he had from Junius and this way of approaching dance from a mentorship perspective and on a personal level, he started to share some of those same tools with me, right? These things inspired by Steen and Thomas and Damon. And so it reaches me, 2005, 2006. I joined the Assassins in 2008. This gentleman here, Dr. Rico, I linked up with this guy in 2010, and me and him had an exchange in movement and thoughts, and I started learning Memphis Jukin from him, and he started to learn popping from me, and that's how he's connected in. This gentleman here, Monster, Haya, Ya, also known as Ya. This guy, we've been around each other for many years in a lot of different events from like early 2000s and just crossed paths for a long time. It wasn't until around 2014, 15, we realized we had a lot more in common and a like-mindedness, and we started to build a friendship, Rashad and Monster Pop, myself and Monster Pop. We started bringing him to DC, and Junius was like, yeah, let's put him in the crew. So September 2015, Monster Pop. Assassins, Urban Artistry. Leslie Lee out here. Give it up for Leslie. Leslie, what year did we? You, 2012. And you moved from the Bay, right? Okay. Yeah, she's originally from DC, was living out in the Bay, been house dancing for some time and dancing for some time, came back and joined Urban Artistry 2012 and has been like a wrecking force in the group, doing so much, such a huge help, such an inspiration in so many ways. So give a big round of applause for her. Now, we had an event called Soul Society. We've had this event since 2009 in DC. It's Urban Artistry's sort of our Clash festival. We have a festival. And we did one in 2010. We called it the Family Affair. And Junius's idea was to bring some of these guys that he had been inspired by in Europe to his people, to the people that he was mentoring in DC. So he reached out to Damon and Thomas and Steen. We had Anthony, we had Henrik was there, and it was like a big family reunion, basically, 2010. It was probably, I think this event and that one are two of like my personal biggest highlights. I think we got as much of the family back together for this one as we could. But that year, Rashad and I, we got to meet these guys that we had looked up to for so long. Dance with them. They were teaching us things in the hotel lobby and just everywhere we went. And yeah, it was a huge push for us. And not only that, but Steen had Rashad and myself come out here to do some theater work with him. And he shared a lot of information. A lot. So we started working with Steen. And since he brought us out here, we started to meet a lot of the dancers here in Copenhagen, and we met Clash CPH. So can I get Clash CPH to come out on the floor? So this awesome group of people, we got to know them very well. And one thing I will say about all of us here on the stage is that it's a friendship thing as well as like a line of mentors and mentees. It's a friendship thing first, and I think that's a huge part of the reason why it works. And it's a huge part of the reason, or what we consider a mentorship, being personal and not just some sort of, business transaction in terms of the way the information is passed. So we made friends with all of these guys here. Rashad had a lot of deep conversations with them, trying to inspire them to step up and become community leaders. He told Diana and Rena, you two should do something together. You guys should work together. I think that would be nice. And Rena and Diana, Clash began in 2013, right? So the year after Rashad and I were there. We were here 2011 and 12. 11, 12, into 13. That's right. Clash starts in 2013. Ayub joined after Diana and Rena did that, and then Anastasia joined as well. And this is their 4th year of their festival, which is inspired by a lot of these people to the right of them who paved the way. So give a round of applause for Clash, Urban Artistry, Damon Frost, Steen. So, now we're just gonna jam out, and we're gonna have a legacy showcase. Did anyone else want to say anything, by the way? Just, now you guys ready to dance, right? All right, KCL, let's do this. All right, make some noise, come on y'all, give us some energy. Legacy Showcase 2017. Family's getting bigger. They play poppin' music. Diana Webby. Come on, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, come on. Yeah, get it. Close on them. Diana Webby, y'all. Let's go, Rashad. Hey.
and Pooh. I like the R to the A, the U, and the L. Pushing more power than a Duracell. I like the L to the A, the M, and the Y. The hip-hop method that you can't deny. So check out the beat and listen to the sound. And if you're from the Bronx, just boogie down. People all around, walking around in the streets. They got the funky box with the John Street beats. You hear the sound, become a believer. You go to the Bronx, hang out at the Fever. You take the D to 205. You go see me, cause I got the gift. And I'm the cool MC with the vicious sounds. I'm not from the Bronx, but I still boogie down. F to the R, double E-Z-E. F to the O, the R-C-E. Yes, the freeze force. And we never lost at any cost. Cause I'm the boss. I'm the cash back money keeper. Never broke, never cheap. If you ask me for a dime, give it to you anytime. Keep cash money, but I'm no jerk. I can use it, don't abuse it, I can put it to work. Just to find my clothes, all designer name. And if you wanna fight, you never look the same. Bill Blast, Calvin Klein, or some of mine. You never catch me on the welfare line. Thank